Boom, boom, boom. We're live. Good morning, everyone. Bam. Oh, let's bring the microphone over. Good morning, everyone. We are live. It is Wednesday, January 15th, market opening in 14 minutes. We got CPI news this morning, almost an hour ago, pushing the market up about 300 points there. That's a pretty big move to the upside right there. I did not take any trades during that. I just sat down at my computer, but there it is, about 315 points to the upside to that pivot point. Look at that move. The 2-minute chart pulled up here. Pretty crazy. We are above yesterday's 15-minute range now. Pull up the hourly chart here. We just put in a higher high. So let's see if the bulls can keep this momentum going to the upside through the hourly pivot point, and we pushed through to the lower time frame pivot points. We got a pivot point at 21,315 area, and then one below it at 21,116. So we're just going to do what we've been doing for the past couple days again today. See what happens. It is a cloudy day here in South Texas right now. Temperatures dipping pretty low next week. We might get some snow. I think I said that yesterday. But we'll see. We shall see. Yeah, Remy right now trying to catch a fly in the house. We got no more news. Just we had a bunch of 7:30 Texas time, 8:30 if you're on the East Coast numbers, and then a speech at 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. East Coast. I don't know if I should just say the time on the East Coast or Texas time. I should start saying 9 a.m. Texas time. Keep it simple. I don't care what's going on the East Coast. I'm not on the East Coast. Some of y'all aren't even in America. Hopefully my dog gets this fly soon. I'll hear him just flapping his jaws at the air behind me. Let's get this 15-minute chart pulled up here. We are above yesterday's high. Today's January 15th. Read from our daily devotional book in a little bit. And read our 5 truths and 7 principles of consistency. Do the same thing every day. Oh my god, this dog, dude. Bro, are you gonna get it or what? You're just gonna jump around the RV. I'm trying to trade. That's not good. Seven more minutes till the opening bell. There's our P&L for the week. About $500. Very nice. We can limit it to like, I don't know, 1 to 2 red days a week would be pretty good. All right, you got anybody watching yet? Got one person watching. All right, I'm going to jump into reading my daily devotional book, Daily Strength for Men. Part of my routine is to read this anyway, so I figured I'll just read it on the stream. Y'all may not care for this stuff, but with the market opening in 5 more minutes. All right, January 15th, day 1, promising the impossible. He brought him outside and said, "Look toward heaven and count the stars. If you're able to count them." Then he said to him, "So shall your descendants be." And he believed the Lord, and the Lord reckoned it to him as righteousness. Have you ever been in a rural area or on a ship anywhere far from city lights and looked up at the sky on a clear night? How many stars could you see? Could you count them all? Probably not. In Genesis 15, God's message to Abraham, then called Abram, was clear. You'll have more descendants or offspring than you can count. But Abraham had no children, and he and his wife Sarah, then called Sarai, I don't know how to pronounce it, were getting old, really old. Abraham was 75 the first time God promised him that he would be the father of a great nation. Now, when God reassured him by showing him the stars, he was 85. Sarah was 10 years younger. The couple had been trying for decades to have children. It was becoming clear that even if Sarah was not past her childbearing years, she was barren. Yet Abraham believed God, Soon after that, Sarah convinced Abraham that because she was barren, he should have a child through her servant Hagar. He listened, and Hagar born a son, Ishmael. When Abraham was 99, however, God announced that the chosen son was not Ishmael, but Isaac, whom Sarah would bear in the next year. Abraham laughed at the news, and when it was repeated for Sarah to hear it, she laughed too. God knew they would laugh. That's why God said that there should be Isaac, with laughter. Sometimes God promises the impossible. He knows that we will find it difficult to believe and trust that He will deliver. When Sarah laughed, God responded, "Is anything too hard for the Lord?" The word translated as hard also may be translated as wonderful. Is anything too wonderful for God? He keeps His promises, even the impossible ones. Well, I know trading seems hard when we first start trading, but it's not impossible. And I think that if you stick with it, you'll see that a lot of other people who stuck with it eventually were rewarded. And it took everybody various lengths of time to get to the point of consistent profitability. And it was hard. And most people quit or give up. It's very hard, but not impossible. And the reward is obviously one of the best rewards you can get in terms of occupations and careers and earned income opportunities. I'm only here for 2 hours every day with the potential to make lots of money, and then you have the rest of the day, which is time to go do whatever else you want to do. So we're going to stick to it, and y'all are here with me on YouTube during this journey. We're documenting the whole thing. So all right, we're going to jump in next to our 5 truths and 7 principles of consistency as well. 5 truths of trading. The 5 fundamental truths. Number 1, anything can happen. Number 2, you don't need to know what is going to happen next in order to make money. Number 3, there's a random distribution between wins and losses for any given sets of variables that define an edge. Number 4, an edge is nothing more than an indication of a higher probability of one thing happening over another. And 5, and finally, every moment in the market is unique. There's our 5 truths. Anything can happen. You don't need to know what's going to happen next to make money. Random distribution between wins and losses for your edge. An edge is just a probability that one thing's going to happen more than another. And every moment in the market's unique. And then the 7 principles of consistency. I am a consistent winner because I objectively identify my edges. And that's what you're going to see me do. And I'm going to talk it out loud, focused on the charts. There's the market. It's open. You're going to see me objectively identify why we're taking the trade that we're taking and why we're not taking trades when the market is moving, because it doesn't follow my edge. So I predefine the risk of every trade. You're going to see a set of stop loss, certain amount of contracts, and we're going to stick to it until we start taking profits if the trade is a winning trade. And then and only then will we move our stop loss to break even and finally trail our stop loss. So that is predefining the risk of every trade. When we get into a trade, we know where our stop's going to be when it hits our entry. I completely accept risk, or I'm willing to let go of a trade. That's part of number 2. I act on my edges without reservation or hesitation. When we see the setup, we're getting in. Okay, because you got to live in the now moment. I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. That's going to be us taking partial profits in a winning trade. I continually monitor my susceptibility for making errors. And 7, I understand the absolute necessity of the principles of consistent success, and therefore I never violate them. So on Monday and Tuesday, you've seen me take partial profits. That's following number 5, that I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. You're taking risk off the table and you're locking in profits. That is what you should be doing. Right now we got the 15-minute chart pulled up. Market at 21,261. VWAP at 21,126. Different, 21,136. It's different on the 2-minute, 136. There's the 5-minute, 21,127. All right, so VWAP's different depending if you're on the 2-minute or the 15-minute, but VWAP's at 21,137 on the 2-minute. We did just make a huge 300-point push pre-market, and we got those. We're in between two pivot points there. We're pushed all the way pretty much almost exactly up to that second pivot point. It's funny how that works. Market loves to go to those pivot points and test those pivot points. So I'm going to cook a couple eggs real quick. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. This is how relaxed I am, that I can literally cook breakfast at the same time that I'm trading, because I don't take any trades until at least 9 a.m. Texas time anyway, with this edge currently. So I don't need to be glued to my screen at the moment. Pretty cool. Let the Bulls and Bears duke it out. Still have to go to the bathroom too. I have to go use the outhouse real quick. I do have a bathroom in the RV, but it's a long story. But number 1 gets done inside the RV. Number 2 gets done outside because there's no septic system or sewage here. There's just a big tank outside, and my gray water and black water comes out at the same time right now because I got a broken valve on my RV. So I just let the gray water flood out into the field, which is like all of our soapy water from our sinks and shower. And then I go use a separate bathroom for number 2. And it is outdoors in the cold, man. If you're not awake, just go out there in the cold and do number 2. You'll be wide awake. You'll be ready to make some money. Good morning. What makes a good Texan breakfast, man? Not me. I just cook 4 eggs. I'm real simple, but I'm sure there's some really good breakfasts out there. I think we're more known for our brisket and our barbecue, our lunch and dinner, than breakfast. Yes, I'm looking at the chat right now, but I'm gonna jump off the chat so I don't get distracted. But I'm real simple. I'm like a dog. I eat the same thing every day, just 4 eggs. Real simple, and just water. No coffee, no tea anymore, no caffeine. Just some good old sleep. Sleep is the number 1 determinant in your daily performance. You can't replace sleep with any kind of energy drink or pill or drug. You just gotta get your sleep. So I sleep very well. And then I may reward myself with a hot tea or a cup of coffee in the afternoon. So, but that's it. But definitely we got some good barbecue down here, that's for sure. Brisket. All right. Let's not burn the eggs, though. Woo. Oh, dropped a small piece. Remy, congrats. Here. Remy, you get some eggs today, boy. Just a little bit. It's hot. Careful. I'm going to put this over here. Accidentally dropped a small egg yolk on the ground. Maybe God said, you're having too many egg yolks, because I don't separate them. I eat the yellow and the white. All right, so we got 4 more minutes in the 15-minute range. I'm going to go use the bathroom. Sorry if that's too much information for y'all, but we'll come back. We'll mark the top and the bottom of this. We'll see where the market's at. We got another at least 20 minutes before we're taking any trades, so I got some time. And then we'll be here at the latest till 10 a.m. Texas time. Hopefully we'll see if the market gives us an opportunity or not. It doesn't have to. Anything can happen. That's rule number 1. And if it does, we'll get in. We'll do our best to get in, get out, get paid, and do it again tomorrow. So, all right, I'll be back. I'm going to put some Some good old Mexican salsa mocha. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. I'm too white to read that in Spanish. I'm going to put some of that on there. Shake it up first. I don't know what this is, but it's pretty good. It's green. So, Del Primo Verde, salsa verde. I'm basically in Mexico down here almost. We're in South Texas. So if you go to the border, if you go to San Antonio, we got some phenomenal Mexican food. All right, let's go get her done. Freezing my ass off. Plus it's rainy out here, man. It's rainy. It's wet out here. Get fed too. But oh, dude, you just whacked your head on the trash can. Where's my keys? Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Not you, Remy. Go lay down. Go lay down, boy. Did you go through the pivot point already? Ah, yeah. We kind of had a bull flag forming there on the 15-minute. It's all right. I was watching that on my phone while I was out there. So I should have already ate breakfast, should have already, kind of had gone to the bathroom. I'm kind of messing up there with, we kind of had a bull flag. Kind of missed the move there, but through that pivot point, I don't know. It is what it is. Bull flag set up for the push there. We got to jump on the next, as Sharif used to say, we got to wait for the next bus then. The bus has already left. We had that 315 pivot point. It's like, do you want to get long right below pivot point, though? Not really. Probably would have wanted to see it go through there first. So I don't really like the idea of that trade. I was on another stream on YouTube out there and saw him talking about it, the idea of this breakout. Through the 315 up to the 44s now. Pivot point breakouts. We grab 30 points there. Roll 30 points. There's the 1 minute chart. We got long. The 315, kind of the break of this candle right here. I don't know. It is what it is. Kind of far from the 21 EMA though. Not really. It doesn't really follow all of our rules, kind of. So that's why I don't like watching other people, because then it gives me these ideas that I normally wouldn't have done. So we got to mark the top and bottom of this candle. That's the first step, because, well, no, we're on step 2. Mark the top and the bottom. Sorry, I'm a little 308. There we go. 308. There's the top, and then 186.75. So we are breaking out above the range. So looking for our bull flag to maybe jump in some longs eventually. We gotta get we have another pivot point up there at 21,488, and then we might have some resistance up there. I don't know. It looks bullish on the hourly now, putting in this higher high. We just gotta see what happens here. 5 more minutes for this hourly candle. So normally we would still be getting trade, but yeah, maybe you could have gotten going there and had a nice little trade, but we're still being patient. Big is this range? 186 to 308, over 100 points. So the idea is that we want to see the price may get held up by the top of the range in this pivot point here, but oops, this may kind of be like the pull, the flag, and then the push, possibly. You know, and then a breakout on the 2 minute. Of this 340 area. We break out. We got this 2 minute candle's got to close first. Well, yeah, I kind of want to see this 2 minute candle close first. Be a little bit more patient, not just a breakout on the 1 minute. I want to see a breakout on the 2 minute also. Let's not get a little too ahead of ourselves. No more than a 20-point stop. We are trading 6 micros. So targeting like $300 to $400. Yesterday we could have grabbed $300, only grabbed 200. Our last 2 contracts could have trailed a little bit better. If y'all were on my stream yesterday, you saw that we were up over $300 in the trade and ended up closing at $200 on just 6 micros. I think we were in that trade for like 5 or 6 minutes. Just one and done. Get a nice little pullback here, which is good, to the 21 EMA. Let's see if we get back up and out of the range again or not. We don't know. We just have to wait and see. We got this hourly candle closing in 5 minutes. Looking at the 5 minute chart here. 15 minute chart. And if we can get up here, stop would be laid down here. Jumping at 337, we get this continuation up. But not yet, because I still want to. This hourly candle usually has to close. I don't know. It could be like We got to see the breakout on the 2 minute too. We got to see the breakout on the 2 minute. It's 37 area. No hesitation. We do have a speech as well, but it's like medium impact. Maybe I don't want to do it with the speech. I don't know. I don't like it. There's a speech in a minute and a half. Fuck. Could be wrong. Price could shoot up here. Whatever. But some guy randomly is talking. I don't know what he's going to say yet. So I'm not going to put my money on trying to predict the future of what's going to come out his mouth. And it might not even move the market. It's not like that big impact of news. But, you know, the market looks like it wants to continue up here. But with that speech in 2 minutes, I don't know, just it's a random human saying something on a microphone. Like, I don't know about that. So if we break through the top, through this 36, 37 area, it looks like it might want to continue up, but we got a speech and like 60 seconds going. And whatever, if it shoots way the fuck up, whatever, we would be in a long right now had we done that, and our stop would have been at 3:17. So let's see if we would have lost or won, you know, without having to have risked anything to find out. Be in drawdown right now. Yeah, these are pretty big candles. We can make these a little taller there, maybe. Ooh. We'll dip down there. All right, there's the speech. Hey, yeah, we're not taking this one. And who knows, maybe this is our only setup for the day, but we act on our edges without hesitation. I hesitated. We didn't act on it, but I just didn't like the fact that there was a speech going on. Now the market's, there we go. Fuck. Well, you know, it is what it is. We would have got in at 37. The market's at 57. There's 20 points. We would have taken partial profits on 2 contracts. Probably would have pulled out another 2 right here. And then we would be moving our stop to break even at like 40 and trailing right now. But I didn't do it. I didn't do it because, I don't know, fucking guys talking. I don't like speeches happening when I'm in my trade. Sounds good. I just had an egg, but that, yeah, I'm gonna watch go for the trade today. I won't distract you. Yeah, we gotta wait for another one now. We gotta wait for another one. We may not get another one. I don't know. We will just have to wait and see. There it goes. There's the bull flag. Bull flag playing out beautifully. Jesus. Well, we're not going to FOMO into it now, but there it is. There's the freaking push up there to the 70s now. We were going to get in at 37. Should have waited till 9, and then as soon as we got the break of this, we could have entered at like 40. There's 30 points. 30 points. Ah, it sucks. Oh well. Oh. Basically, we got this push down, and then this candle was doing this, but then he was talking, and when we broke through 40, you could have jumped in long here, maybe. And rode all this up right here. This would have been your entry right here. Another like 4-minute trade. Now we're pulling back a little bit now. Oh well. What are you gonna do? No trade, no trade. Yeah, I mean, if there's gonna be other entry points either today or tomorrow or Friday, I mean, I'm not concerned about other opportunities coming. They just come. Sometimes you miss things, like, and that's the cool thing about the strategy is that these opportunities come almost daily. Sometimes there's multiple. Sometimes I don't know after our session at 10 a.m. session, like another one, or they come during. But I gotta stick and be rigid with my rules. I just, I guess I don't fully feel like I missed it then. Like, I have mixed emotions about if I missed that or not, because, like, yeah, as a technical standpoint, like, it looks like we missed it. It was a bull flag. It followed all of our rules, except for the fact that there was a speech kind of happening, and I didn't know if that was going to push the price down or up. That could kind of go against the probabilities of it. Just throws in an extra variable of probability, of uncertainty into the mix. And I just feel like it would have been a little bit leaning more towards the gambling side than the trading side. And I don't I don't like to feel like a gambler. I want to feel like I own the casino. So, and I just didn't get that casino owner type feeling there, like, with high probability. Like, why does that guy got to be talking? Why do they got to have so many speeches all the time? I don't know. We'll just wait until we got another 54 minutes or we come back tomorrow. No. Don't know. Don't know. Kind of topping out at the top of this wick from Friday. Right now at the 370s. Gonna push through there. Another level at like 380 and 430s. 448. Now it's like, do you want to get long all the way up here after all of that push? It's like, how much higher can she go? I don't know. I don't know. We already went through 2 pivot points. And then we have a third one up here. I don't know. I just don't like it now. It's like, that kind of feels like that was the one, maybe. I don't know. You don't want to try to make things happen, though. You want to let the market come to you. Don't chase it. Like, kind of just created another like little bull flag right there. But we didn't get like a really good pullback to the 21 EMA. 344. 21 EMA was at 315. So it just doesn't follow our rules. Like, we got a nice pullback to the 21 EMA here before that hourly candle closed, and then we pushed up. This one closed, and then 9 a.m. hit. And once we got above this like 340 area, like this was kind of our move right here. Had there not been a speech, I would have been all over that trade right there. I'd have been all over it, just trying to preserve capital. I'm not trying to take a loss. And I don't think I'm being over analytical. There was a speech. That's pretty simple. Like, if you got big news, like, you probably shouldn't be in a trade at the time. Not that it was like big news. Like, earlier CPI at 7:30 Texas time, that was the big news for the day. But we don't have any more speeches or news during our 8 to 10 a.m. session here. So now it's just analyzing the chart. We did get another nice kind of pull back to the 21 EMA, sort of kind of on the 1 minute here. Nice little 20-point push there. I just didn't like how it looked on the 2-minute chart. So this was kind of the move right there. That was kind of nice looking as far as just a technical chart perspective. Just had that speech though, so that's what threw me off. That's what made me hesitate and not want to pull the trigger. It's all good. Being disciplined. It's pretty good discipline, I think, still. Why not give yourself room to be wrong? Instead of trading 6 contracts in one go, which is a big outlay, maybe just go for 2. Then if the market goes against you, go long again. That's too many different decisions. Maybe just go for 2. Then if the market goes against you, go long again with another 2. Yeah, you're talking about scaling in. So I usually scale out, but I don't scale in. You can add to your winners. You can add more. I usually don't do that. I could try doing that. I ease myself into a position by using a small stake. Then I add to it to keep adding to it if the market goes against me. You mean if the market's going in your direction, you add to it? Why would you add to it if it's going against you? Unless you're smart and you're like, you're like adding long positions here, long, because you're buying into that dip to the 21 EMA and then but I just don't do that. I have my entry method and I stick to it, and I'm either going to be right or wrong, and I accept the risk, and I know that it's a random distribution between wins and losses, and an edge is nothing more than a probability that it's more likely to go in my direction or the other, in my direction. To answer your question, it goes back to the 5 fundamental truths of trading, Robert. Anything can happen. You don't need to know what's going to happen next in the market to make money. There's a random distribution between wins and losses for any given set of variables that define an edge. An edge is nothing more than an indication of a higher probability of one thing happening over the other, and every moment in the market is unique. When I place a trade, I already accept the risk that I'm putting on the trade. I already accept 20 points with 6 micros is the cost that I will pay to find out if I was right or wrong. And if I'm wrong, I accept that loss and I accept that risk, and I wait for another edge setup that defines my edge, and I objectively identify my edge. So you saw me objectively identifying my edge on why this was a good entry. The only reason why I didn't do it was because there was a speech. Otherwise, I would have entered with 6 micros right here and would have caught this push, and I would have been right. And then I scale out 2, 2, 2. Eventually, you think 6 is too much. Eventually, I'm going to be trading 12 contracts, 18 contracts. Then what are you guys going to then what are y'all going to say? If you think 6 is too big, you're really going to think 18 is too big. But if you want to get that equity, if you want to make bigger money, you got to trade bigger size. But don't just jump into trading bigger size until you're confident in your strategy and your setups and you've built consistency. Then you can scale up. What happens when we have $550,000 accounts? You think we're going to be trading 2 micros with $750,000 in equity? No, I'm going to be trading like 90 micros or like 9 minis per trade. We're going to be risking way more, but we're going to be making way more. But there's no sense in doing that yet until you've gotten good with a small amount. So 10 to 20 points, 6 micros is a very good amount of risk for the account size that we're trading. However, if you like to only jump in with 2 and then kind of scale in and add to your winners, you can do that. You can add to your winners. Hey, the market's moving in my direction. I'm going to buy some more. I'm going to add to it because the market's confirmed that it's moving in the direction I think it's moving in. That's good. You can do that. There's people that do that. If that's the strategy you like to do, do it. It's not what I do. I have a very high win rate and I have a pretty good edge, so I'm pretty confident when I get into a trade. There's a high probability that it's going to go in my direction again, but I don't know that it's going to go in my direction. None of us know that we're always going to be right. And that's literally the second rule. You don't need to know. Just like when a casino, when somebody sits down at their blackjack table, they don't need to know that they're going to beat that gambler. They just know over the long run that they beat them. And that's all I know. I know over the long run, I beat the market with this edge if I stick to all my rules. Therefore, when I place a trade, I feel comfortable and fine entering in my full position right there at the entry method. And I don't get super anxious or worried when I see it going against me because I've already accepted losing that money possibility. When I put that risk on, I'm already willing to lose that money. If it's $240 because it's 20 points, 6 micros, I'm willing to pay $240 to find out if I was right or wrong. You know, if you're trading 12 micros, 20 points, it's $480. If you're trading 18 micros at 20 points, it's $720. You need to be willing to accept that risk when you put the trade on. That's my method. That's my style. That's what I'm going to be doing. And I need to at least try this for 20 trades first because I've already promised myself that I'm going to do my best to do this for 20 trades to see how it works out. If after 20 trades, if we follow this and it's not working out, I'll try something different. But you need 20 trades as a good sample size for testing an edge. So that's what we're going to do before we try to change our entry method. We have an entry method. We have a scaling out method. You know, and we're going to just test it for 20 trades first. And then we're going to see how we did or not. Yeah, well then, hey, Robert, keep doing that. If that's working for you, if you're getting consistent profits, keep doing what you're doing. Turns out to not working, maybe start scaling your entry as well as scaling out. But if your strategy's working great, yeah, you could consider scaling in. There's people that do that and make lots of money. That's something that works. Absolutely. What you're talking about, Robert, works. People do it, and maybe I'll end up doing it one day. Yeah, I predefine my stop and my risk when I get into the trade. So some people do and some don't. Some have mental stops. Some have different kind of strategies for that. I definitely don't want to change that part of the equation for now. So and then you definitely don't want to be moving your stop in the opposite direction because you feel like the market's going to move in your favor. You shouldn't be trading based off your feelings ever. You should not be trading based off your feelings. You said because I believe that it will turn around and go in my favor. Well, I don't know, dude. According to the book, it didn't say to trade off your beliefs because it said anything can happen and every moment in the market is unique and you don't need to know what is going to happen next in order to make money. When the casino opens their doors and they see somebody sit down at the blackjack table, the owner's not sitting on the second floor looking through the glass and going, all right, I see somebody sitting down at my blackjack table. I believe we're going to win. They don't do that. They don't believe they're going to win or lose. They don't need to because they know over the long term that they win if they stick to their plan. So you don't want to get too much into like your beliefs and feelings on an individual trade because sometimes you're going to be wrong and sometimes you're going to be right. And when you're wrong and you believed you were going to be right, it hurts because you're like, man, I thought I was going to be right. Instead, just treat it like it's a probability game. That bull flag still playing out beautifully here. You know, obviously we're wishing that we would have got long there looking back, but we got to live in the now moment. Even if this session ends and you know, the session's only going to go if we draw our little blue box down here to 10 a.m. just to give us kind of a visual representation as to where we stop trading. It's at the end of this blue box. So we got another pivot point up there at 21,488. This was a nice pole and flag right here. Just straight up, pull back to the 21 EMA, and then push on up. Doesn't get more textbook than that. I almost like don't even want to trade anymore for the day. No, it's like that might have been the move. That might have been the one for now. Not the one forever. It's not like, oh, you meet a girl and, man, I feel like that was the one. Like, bro, there will be plenty of girls. If you didn't go after that or you didn't decide to try to make a move on that one, or you exit a trade with your stop on. Yeah, I don't know. Robert, how many years you been trading and how many payouts have you gotten? Do you trade with prop firms? Do you trade with your own money? What's your level of experience? I don't see Sarif in here talking. Usually he's here in the morning. We got 2 people watching. I'm still at no trades, if you're wondering. Kind of Had a nice bull flag right there. Jumped in long at 9 a.m. No trades. I got to go to the restaurant today. Got to be there at 10:30 Texas time just for lunch today and then come back. We'll be live again tomorrow at the same time. Market just kind of on the 1 minute here, putting in these bullish waves. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. I don't know. It's like these little waves now was all kind of part of this initial spot to jump in. I don't know. I just don't like that there's no more pullbacks to the 21 EMA. These are all kind of far from the risk to reward isn't good enough on these. So you don't just want to think about win rate. You want to think about risk to reward. If we're this far from the 21 EMA, it's like, do I want to get long when it breaks out up here at the 372s when the 21 EMA was at 320, 50 points away? Not really. I mean, it's not that sexy to me. Like, we got this pullback to the 21 EMA and then pushed out. Like, I mean, like, if we would have got long up here, we still would have been kind of far from the 21 EMA. It would have got in at like 340. 21 EMA was at 300, so that's 40 points. So it's not a whole lot better, but I'm just kind of using this 15-minute range, 21 EMA and pivot point as support. We got this trend line kind of breakout. Like, that was just had that speech. That was the only thing that kind of threw me off. I just feel trappy now. I feel like I remember in the past taking longs up here after the move already happened, and I ended up getting denied and losing. So my brain now remembers seeing scenarios like this. When you build enough experience trading and playing the game, your brain will start to remember times where you decided to take a trade in a similar scenario like this and you lost. And like, it kind of prevents you from maybe doing it again. Just like life. In life, you might have done a couple things wrong, the same thing multiple times, and eventually you're like, no, I've been here before. I'm not doing it again because that was a bad decision. I ended up paying for it. So you stop doing it and your life gets better. It's just part of growing up and maturing. And as a young man, and we're talking about trading, so as a trader here, and I might be wrong. Market could continue to push all the way up to this pivot point. Up here at the 488s, could push another 100 points. Oh, because rule number one is anything can happen. I really want to stick to my edge for 20 trades, and so far we're off to a good start. We did it for 2 days in a row. You know, not the largest wins, but these wins were following our edge. And that's what I like about them. I don't like that we're green. I like that they were green trades as a result of following our edge, not as a result of just placing a random trade and winning, because that takes no skill. Anybody can do that. Anybody can sit there and put on a trade, win, and then be like, oh, look, I made $400. All right, cool. But how many payouts have you gotten? Like, do you consistently make that money every day with like small red days once in a while? No? Okay, then you're not a consistent profitable trader, and it doesn't matter that you just made $400. It doesn't matter. So I like that these two green trades were as a result of following our edge. Yeah, we're bouncing off the 21 EMA again right here. This would look like another spot where we're going to now start putting in a higher high again. The only reason why I don't like it is we're not like really creating a nice bull flag after a nice pull and a pullback to the 21 EMA. So I don't know. You guys might be watching thinking, man, this guy's freaking picky. Like, man, he just looks for every reason why it's not a good trade. Right, because if I go through that process of elimination, then I'm left with, I just boil it down to like a pretty good entry. But even with that entry, I could still be wrong. because anything can happen, and you don't need to know that you're going to be right. But I just like to trade with a high probability. And I'm telling you guys, it's going to pay off in the long run. I know it. I know that. I believe that. I don't need to believe in every individual trade when I go to place it, but I can believe in that if I do all this stuff over the long term, I will be profitable. There is a recipe to long-term profitability. People have different recipes. There's not just one way to do it. But I believe the way that I'm describing it and the way that I've been trading Monday and Tuesday is a recipe for success and long-term profitability. The question is, can I continue and be consistent with following it? It's not the strategy. It's me. Can I follow it? And I believe I can too. I believe in myself, and I believe in patience. So if we got to wait till tomorrow, dude, I don't care. I don't care. I just don't like the idea of getting long up here, feeling like we could be getting long at the top. You know, sometimes you only get one of these kind of setups between 9 and 10 a.m. And it was right at the 9 a.m., right when that hourly candle came. Like, this was it. And then if we were trailing, man, if we trailed that last one, like, here's the 1 minute. Let's take a look. If our entry was like, say, like right here, and our stop was like no more than 20 points. I mean, there's a 1 to 2, but we would have had our last two stops like a little bit past break even, and I don't think we would have gotten taken out at this 907 candle, and then we would have got this push at 908, and I would have trailed up on that one, and then probably gotten taken out up here with that one. Like that was over 40 points we could have grabbed on that last two. Like, that's a lot of points, 40 points. You know, if we would have stayed in all the way to those peaks, over 60 points. So, you know, but another 30 minutes here. I don't know what I want to do. I just feel like when I start thinking like this again, like this, I just need to like leave the computer. Then I don't know, but you can see the market moves in waves. That's another idea that I have, is that the market moves in waves, and I'm sure you will agree with that. Like, here's the wave: higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. It's trending up, so you should only be looking for longs. We're not looking for shorts. If you're confused about, like, in this kind of trend to get short or get long, like, you're still in like first grade then in terms of trading. Like, in my opinion, it should be very obvious that you're only looking for longs in a trend like this. And where do you want to get long? At the bottom of the wave. I'm going to get long like here and here and here. And you're thinking probably like, all right, looks like we're at the bottom of the wave too. Yeah, but now this like 21 EMA may be like kind of like flattening out. We might start heading down soon now. We're kind of losing that steam right here. It's getting a little choppy. Like, I can kind of perceive the market that way. And even when I'm perceiving it and thinking that about what's going to happen next, I still have in the back of my head that anything can happen and every moment in the market's unique, and I could be wrong. See, we get too set on trying to always be right. And I'm not saying don't try to analyze the market to use your edge and make a fair judgment call on like what you believe is going to happen next. That's what we all have to do as traders when we put on a trade. If we go long, it's because we believe that the price is going to go up. And if we go short, it's because we believe the price is going to go down. But don't try to think you know it's going to do that, because you do not. And don't get too hyper focused on the trade by trade, because trading is a long-term game. If you're going to make a career out of this, you're going to be doing it for years. It's a long-term game. There's red days, there's green days. Now the market kind of looks like it's losing steam. Now you can see why I didn't like the idea of getting long in here, because now we're possibly, we did just get a pullback to the 21 EMA. This could be just this could be a bull flag here. Have another bull flag, possibly. We did just get a pullback to the 21 EMA. That would be our kind of our flag. I gotta see. That was kind of like a resistance area previous, where we're entering right now too. So I don't know if I like that either, because if you go all the way back to January 8th, Wednesday, this was kind of a resistance area that it's got to break through. I just, on the 1 minute, it's kind of losing steam here. So, you know 15 years. Good Lord. Well, you got some experience. I was 16 years old when you started trading. Yeah, there you go. You got a lot of experience, Robert. And the only way to get experience is by just getting experience and by putting in the time. You can't speed that up. There's no book you can read for experience. You simply just have to acquire it through time, through participation in the markets. So, but it's not everything. Experience isn't everything either. I used to work at a Sherwin-Williams paint store as a manager, and I'd have painters that would come in and say, I've been painting for 40 years, and what do you know, kid? And then I'll school them and teach them on something that the corporate company taught me about, a new paint technology and coding and how to apply it and what it's used for. And then I'll teach them, and they're like, whoa, okay. So it's just because you've been painting for 40 years doesn't mean you know everything or you are the best painter. You could have been doing it wrong for 40 years, right? So although experience is important and it can mean a lot, it's not everything. But yeah, I'd say I'm pretty disciplined for the amount of time I have in the trading world too. I believe that about myself too. So if I keep getting a little better, well, there we go. Market kind of dipping down into the 50s again. And that bull flag's not looking so good anymore. There we go. I no longer like this bull flag. So we just delete that line now. We go like this. That's like when she tells you oh, I got 5 kids with 5 different baby daddies. As soon as you find that out, you're like, oh, delete that. Nope, I'm not talking to her no more. It was all good until I found that out. And then once I found that out, hey, lose my number. God bless. Talk to you. See you later. No longer interested in that trade. People probably don't like my analogies, but I don't know. I've dated a lot of women, and it's almost like a game that you got to play. Just to protect yourself. You got to protect yourself as a man dating women. A good woman can either make you or break you. Women are very important. Any great man in history that's accomplished a lot, like, had a great woman with him. But they can also do the opposite. So there's risk, just like trading. But I don't know. The market just put in a lower low now. It could freaking go up, obviously, because anything can happen. Now I'm just sitting and talking basically through nothing because I'm not seeing my edge, so I'm just sitting here. I don't know what I would do if I was in a tree stand hunting deer and I didn't have like a camera on my face with people to talk to. I would just be sitting there looking at the freaking trees for 2 hours waiting for a deer. You're basically like meditating. You gotta try not to fall asleep. A lot of people fall asleep in the deer stands and they fall out of trees. That's why you wear a harness. So you're oh no, that would be funny if we get a push now all of a sudden out of nowhere. I'm still just oh man, this candle's got to close though. We got another minute and a half. If this thing just rips up, dude, that'd be funny. This thing's got to close first. There's no way. Look at this. Just put in a lower low. And now it's going to push again. That's funny. 351 all the way up to 393. Just 40 points up again. Just like that. Could be a trap. Could be a fake out. They're just screwing with everybody. So we got another 21 minutes in our session here. This candle's closing in 30 seconds. We got that nice whole number there at the 400s too to get through. It's like if we can break above 400 maybe. I don't know. Stop would be at 380. That would be like the trade if we got a push up here. But we're not. Maybe we're not. I don't know. That could have been a lower high. Now it's going to put in a lower low maybe. I don't know. New. Anything can happen. And it's kind of like a nice bull flag. And then we got that pivot point at 488, 100 points away. Keeping an eye on this 2 minute here. See how I just already objectively identified the edge, predefined the risk before I'm even in the trade. Thinking if we break out above this 400 area, we might continue up. We pulled back to the 21 EMA, and now we're kind of breaking out of this trend again. We might have lost momentum though. That's the only thing that I don't like about this. I don't know. I'm not taking this trade above the 21 EMA, just pushing up, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And then we just dip down. Now we're kind of chopping on the 21 EMA, and we don't have that momentum. And I'm a momentum trader, and the market could shoot up here, and then I just missed another opportunity. But I feel like I'm getting in the mode of now I just want to place a trade because I didn't get a trade today. Some days you just got to lock in, not a green day, not a red day, no trade. That's better than losing money. Like if you can focus on not losing money, you might make money instead of focusing on making money and knowing that you don't need to know what is going to happen next in order to make money. So, you know, I feel like I'm almost in that kind of like I'm bored. I just want to place a trade, but that's not how a professional acts. If you were hunting and you had a rifle and you're like, well, I'm already up here and I got a gun in my hand and it's loaded and I just want to shoot a bullet because I like shooting guns. We're just going to shoot at that tree. And maybe a deer will just jump out in front of it or something, but poof, and we're just wasting bullets. If those bullets cost $200 each, you'd probably be a little bit more careful with like when you pull the trigger, right? Instead of $3 for, you know, a big deer hunting round or something, $2, whatever they cost. You know, you wouldn't. There's a funny stand-up comedy skit, and I forget, Chris Rock talking about if bullets cost $50,000 each. He said, we don't got a gun problem, we got a bullet problem. Bullets are too cheap. If bullets cost $50,000 each, people would be a little bit more careful before they start shooting people. You know, end up shooting a guy, a bunch of bullets, and I'm like, damn, he said like bullets should cost like $1,000 each or something. He's like, damn, he put $50,000 worth of bullets in his ass. He must have really wanted him dead, you know? So it's like, if each one of these bullets cost a couple $100 when we place these trades with 10, 20 points of stop loss, 6 micros, you don't need to know that you're going to win, but you should be thinking that, hey, there's a high probability that if we place this trade, that the market's going to go at least to here. And right now, I just can't make that judgment call based off of what I'm seeing here. So the best thing to do is to just do no trade. Honestly, and in the next 15 minutes, I don't see our type of setup happening. I've been studying this strategy and edge long enough to know that it probably ain't going to show up now. So I'm still proud of how we did today. Obviously, we want to see green on the board every day, but that's not going to happen to the best traders. They're going to have red days. They're going to have days like this where there's no setup, and they're going to have green days. Those are the only 3 possibilities of your result: red, green, or no trade. And even the best have a mixture of those 3 results. So, you know, if we start dipping below this 350 area, you know, that's possibly it for the bulls right now. Start pulling back a little bit here. I'm going to delete this line because if I see that, it's going to make me think that we still got to set up here. I know I've done that twice now. So see how my brain's kind of just like, it's getting a little, like, you know, just getting a little weird. Like this was the setup kind of. So I don't know. I might just end it here. No trade. Whatever. We're up $500 green on the week. Only 2 trading days. It's not a whole lot. I mean, our profit target's $3,000. Obviously, we're nowhere close to that yet, but Don't focus on that. Focus on being consistent. When we scale up to 12 contracts in 18, believe me, we will hit that target quickly. But I want to hit it responsibly. You know, you got to wear a condom. You got to be safe. You got to use protection, risk management. Be smart about it. You know, be smart about it. You got to be careful now. Trade responsibly. You know, it's all about responsibility here. We're not in here, and I'm not on here just to entertain y'all or make these videos and get rich off YouTube. I'm on here to make money from trading. Even when YouTube starts paying me, possibly, the next goal is 500 subscribers. I got to get to 500 before I'm eligible to start earning money from YouTube. If I can get to 500 subscribers, we're going to do an account giveaway. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors. Jump on Austin Lee's stream. He's live on YouTube every day trading Nasdaq. We're on the ground floor. I see Darth Traders chiming in. We got Roberts. Doesn't matter. No trade equals break even. That's fine. Break even's good, baby. Break even's better than red. You know, if we don't see the setup, no trade. If that's what you're saying. Hold on, I got to go back and read some of these because I'm not placing any trades, dude. Now market's pulling back. See, I told you if we lose at 350, we're going to start heading downtown maybe, but I didn't want to place a trade based off that either because that's not really our strategy either. You're probably like, man, this kid is just so picky. Eventually, we'll have a second entry method, and I can start placing more trades. And, you know, but you got to get good at one before you can have two, right? So, you're a young man who's taking it seriously. You'll find the best way that's right for you through trial and error. Yes, experience is important, but I'm still learning every day. Yep, and even when you're experienced and you're good, you're still learning every day. That's right. Just subbed. I like your content. Let's get it. Only trade I saw was the trap after the open. I saw it on the 15-second chart. Is that what that says? I don't even ever use the 15-second chart. That's crazy. The lowest high goes 1 minute. But that's cool. I'm waiting until later to look for a second opportunity around the New York Open low if I am lucky. If not, okay. I don't trade distended markets. Too much correction available. Oh, okay. You mean like overextended, like we're all the way up here now? I don't know what that means, but I think that's what you mean. Always remember the London close. People often forget about it. Easy to do, but it moves the market. Okay, that's good. Yeah, think about London session when you're in a trade. Let's look at those lows on a bullish day post CPI. If you assign risk to all three lows, you can take setups at each one. Question is, what are you looking for? I agree. Well, I think I talked about what I'm looking for a lot on today's stream. And if you missed it, you'll hear me talking about it tomorrow and Friday because I look for the same thing every day. So I agree. Risk management is important. I used to place trades because I was bored and they almost always did badly. And the problem with that is you can place a trade because you're bored and win. And now you think, oh, that worked. Hey, it worked. Like people that drink and drive. I'm going to drink, go to the bar, and then get in a car and drive. Oh, I didn't get caught. I made it home. That worked. I can do it again until you end up killing somebody or yourself or going to jail. So just because it worked, whatever it was, you know it was a bad decision and you shouldn't make bad decisions and you got to be responsible. Today is one of my daily templates. I was more than happy to take risk after the New York Open. My templates only show up at about 5 times a month, so I have to be ready and sharp for the moments. Yeah, if that's your strategy, you do. So that's why I like our strategy because they show up almost every day. Not every day, but almost every day. But doesn't matter. No trade was breaking. You need to know your bandwidth capacity. Read a book with a timer running when you're no longer able to digest what you're reading and find yourself reading a paragraph twice or two. Yeah, that's a good point, Darth Trader. Bandwidth capacity. Interesting. With your brain. I like the way you think. Read a book with a timer running when you're no longer able, because eventually it gets to the point where you're reading, and you're like, all right, now I need to take a break. Your brain just absorbs so much. We do have a capacity. And the book actually, what you just said, the book I just read talks about that a little bit briefly, which is interesting. It's called Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. And Darth Trader, what you just said is actually kind of in the book. You will know your attention span. Yeah. Because I'll be on, I want to tell something, y'all. When I was like 4 or 5 years old, I was diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactive disorder. And until I was like 18 years old, I was on every single different ADHD medication that there was. Strattera, Ritalin, Vyvanse, Adderall, like all of them. I was like a science experiment for the doctors. They just gave me every single different one, different dosages. I was an AB student. I was in honors classes. I did very well in school. I got in trouble a lot, but I was a good student. And I do not take ADHD medication anymore at all, and I haven't for years. And so I don't want to identify myself as somebody that has an attention disorder, because I can pay attention. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, just like all of us, but I can work on that and get better at it. And I don't think I need drugs to do that. I don't like to use drugs or alcohol at all anymore. And so, but with what you just said, Darth Trader, you will know your attention span. Everybody might have a different level, so it's important to know yours. That's why I only like trading for a couple hours, because there's no way I could sit here all day and look at this chart, nor would I want to, even if I could. I want to spend the rest of my day living life and doing something else. I don't think our purpose in life is to work all week long and all day long. It's to experience God's creation and this reality. And you have to earn that, though. You have to earn the freedom through doing something that pays you a pretty decent amount of money in a short period of time. And for everybody, they have a different standard of living and different levels of where that place is. For me, it's having the money to then spend the rest of the day doing whatever I want, whether it's like going and doing charity or donating my time at a hospital or giving back, or doing something fun for me, like going to Mexico and sitting in a luxury villa for a week on the beach, trading, New York Open in the morning, and then getting a massage and enjoying watching the beach and eating good food, chilling, like whatever it is. Like, I don't think I need to go expensive restaurants anymore. I don't need to buy, I used to buy gold necklaces and fancy clothes. Like, I want to spend my money now traveling and then giving back and helping my community. And trading is like the way that I see doing that. If you're an actor or an actress or a musician, like you have a manager that tells you where to go, you control, it's like so Hollywood and all that. Like, those guys do not have freedom. As a trader, yeah, we do have to be at our desk and on our computer for a little bit, so we're not like fully free. I'm sitting here right now working, but I don't think there's really a whole lot of ways to make money without you having to do some kind of work. Even if they call it passive income from real estate, like, you still have to do work in real estate when you own commercial real estate. There's no such thing as just sitting there and making money doing no work. There's some level of commitment that you have to make to earn money. So, but trading is just like the best thing I can think of. So Mark Douglas also has some good videos on YouTube. I did not know that. I will have to look into that. And he also has another book called like The Disciplined Trader that I haven't read yet. And I really liked Trading in the Zone, so I think it would be a good idea to watch that. I think I'm pretty disciplined, but I can always be better. If he's got some golden nuggets in there to like some little rules to like increase discipline, I want to read it and know it. Work-life balance. You're absolutely right. Also, traders who spend all day in front of their screens are often the ones who aren't successful. Yep. You have a great attitude to life. I think you're totally on the right path. Making money is just a means to an end, not an end in itself. Correct. So we got 4 more minutes left in our session. Market's just kind of chopping on the 21 EMA on the 2-minute time frame here. Looking like we might want to start heading down now, possibly putting in lower lows and lower highs. Kind of have a bear flag in a way, kind of setting up here, maybe. I don't know. Kind of maybe. I don't know. Never know. This candle is closing in 30 seconds. And then, you know, that might have been a good short right there. No hesitation, act on your edge, but get in at the 48. Stop would be up here at like 66. Short. We hesitated though. It's like almost giving me another opportunity. Probably a short maybe would have been nice right here. There we go. We hesitated. We didn't follow the rule of I act on my edges without reservation or hesitation. Because I did, we don't get rewarded. But look at that. Entry right there at 957. Right at like the 48 area. Market pushing down to 25. There's 20 points right there. Boom. Well, you heard me talk it out loud. You heard me say it, and then it did it. But I didn't act on it. I think I got too caught up kind of reading the chat again, which is fine. I'm not blaming you guys at all. That is all on me. And to be honest, like I didn't fully like this anyway, because now we're like creating that new trend. Like I kind of like to almost see that trend formed with a breakout above a pivot in the 15-minute range. And like I like this one better than I like this one. The only difference was there was a speech going on right here. But if you're wondering, that's kind of how I look for a trade. Basically, once we got through this like 347 area, and 348 area, that would have been the kill shot right there. That would have been the kill shot right there for a short. You know why I eventually decided to start looking for shorts, because now we're closing below the 21 EMA. We're putting in lower lows and lower highs. The trend is over. Now the trend is down. Now we're going to start making our way back to probably VWAP. That was a nasty retracement right back up. Look at that. I mean, not nasty, but that's what can happen. It's a regular retracement, but like we would have been protected by that candle right there, because our stop would have already been past break even on the final two contracts. But if we draw a 1 minute trend line right here, this candle closed, and then when this one, you could have got in somewhere in this area, somewhere in here for a short. If we did get in at 348, the market pushed down to 319. So I'm not super good at math, but 48 minus 19 is like, about almost 30 points there. So that was a nice little push down. But yeah, and then our bull flag over here, basically, there we go. Bull flag, bear flag. The speech, and then just kind of this 21 EMA kind of flattening out like this, and now curving down. So now the market's kind of like pushing down there, maybe. This pivot point could act as support. It could chop around on here first, but VWAP doesn't like to be ignored for too long. There we go. Our session's over. 10:01 Texas time. We are done for the day. Thank you for joining. No trades today. It is what it is. Break even day. Counts at $50,354. Profit target's $53,000. Not anything crazy yet. But this is kind of where we would have got long, and this is kind of like was a good spot to get short. And the market almost kind of was like going like this, like, all right, take it. Like you can almost see that. It's almost like when a deer stands up and waits for you to take a shot. You only have so long before the deer is going to like run off. Well, here, this is when the deer runs off right here. and you either shot it and it's got an arrow in it and you got to kill, or you didn't shoot it and you just watched it run away again. The cool thing is there's plenty of opportunities with this setup. This isn't a setup like whoever was talking earlier, 4 times a month or something. This is almost every day. Sometimes nothing, sometimes one setup, sometimes 3 or 4 setups. Like, these opportunities come consistently and frequently, which is good. So, because that makes you feel like good. Obviously, there's an abundance of opportunities. There we go. I got to go to my other job. Eventually, once the trading's paying off, and I have like consistent payouts for 3 months, then I can leave that job and we'll hook the RV up to the truck and get on the road again and move. Just see where life takes us. See what God's plan is. Trust in his plan, and that's the bigger picture. Just like we look at the bigger time frames, you got to keep the bigger picture in mind with life too. Don't get too focused on what happened in that minute of life or that day of life. Think about your whole life. Some of y'all on here are probably older than me. Think about life in terms of the bigger picture. Where's life taking you? Where'd you come from? Where have you ended up? Like, my life kind of keeps going up and getting better in the bigger picture. My life has been getting better. So if that continues to happen, just like the forward curve of the Nasdaq, man, I'm excited for the future in life and the world. And, I think the future gets better. It just depends on what you put your attention on. You can focus on the positive or the negative. It serves you to focus on the positive. It controls you if you look at the negative. So just be careful with what you decide to watch, listen to, music, social media, all that kind of stuff. Eat well, get your sleep, exercise, live a good life, be happy, be grateful. And then hopefully we're blessed to have another day tomorrow to show up and try again and just keep sticking to our rules. So there it is. That's all I got for now. Y'all are great. Thanks for joining and liking and supporting the channel. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. We hit 100 yesterday, and the next goal is 500, and then after that 1,000. But our focus is just on trading well, making money from the trading, and hopefully you guys learned something. And that's pretty much it. Marcus will be there for us tomorrow. That's right. Yep. And if they're not, we got bigger problems to worry about if the market just collapses or something, right? So I used to say that when I sold solar. If the sun goes out, we got bigger problems to worry about. So that's it. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for joining. See you, Robert. See you, Dark Trader. See you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a good day. Later.